First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Yahweh is who this world ignorantly calls God. Yahushai is who this world ignorantly calls Jesus. Bahashem means in the name, Rakah means spirit, and Kwadash means holy. That's on the Paleo Hebrew. I also want to give double honors to the elder bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. I want to make a quick video going into some information I found it interesting, which is you have two different newscasters, which are pretty much they had, as the brother titled it, one of them was talking about an eclipse earthquake, okay, and he said, was that a slip of the tongue or their tongue falling upon themselves, right? Slip of the tongue going into how they just misspoke, or their own tongue falling upon themselves. That's a scripture going into how they're pretty much ratting themselves out. Okay, Esau Edom is pretty much coming out the bag. Okay, and I'm gonna play this one first, and then I'll play the other one.
Something to have lived through this, the strongest earthquake in 140 years, Sean.
Look at all of that. And it's not over yet because we've got the Eclipse earthquake coming up on Monday. As Deborah Ross was telling us, it's going to be a transformative experience for anybody who is in the area of totality.
Something to have lived through this, the strongest earthquake in 140 years, Sean.
Look at all of that. And it's not over yet because we've got the Eclipse earthquake coming up on Monday. As Deborah Ross was telling us, it's going to be a transformative experience for anybody who is in the area of totality.
The Eclipse earthquake. So you heard him right there saying that. Like the brother titled that, was that a slip of the tongue or the tongue falling upon themselves? Now I found it more interesting with this other clip I have here of what this woman said. Let's check out this one.
We've been preparing for the eclipse for over 2 years. Jody Keller is the Director of Healthcare Emergency Preparedness for COTS, the Central Ohio Trauma System. It's a healthcare coalition for trauma, emergency, and disaster preparedness. We were concerned because the path of totality was going through some of our smaller counties where we have smaller emergency departments and not as many resources. She says the upcoming eclipse, while exciting, is leaving healthcare workers a bit anxious. The big worry is how traffic will impact everyday operations. So, yes, we're planning for a mass casualty event that day, but that's not really...
And you just heard it right there. Was that a slip of the tongue or their own tongue falling upon themselves? She said, we've been preparing for 2 years, and we're preparing for a mass casualty event. One more time.
So, yes, we're planning for a mass casualty event that day, but that's not really our worry. Our worry is, how do we get our heart attacks and our stroke patients to the emergency department if the roads are completely at a gridlock and we can't get EMS either to a patient or back to the hospital? And our stroke patients to the emergency department if the...
She said, how do I get our heart attacks and our stroke patients back to the emergency department if the roads are pretty much clogged? And that made me think that, hey, Esau Edom, right, this devil, those in rulership right now, hey, they might hit that activation button, okay? Because we know that all these people that took the 2020, right, you know what I'm talking about, all these people that took that, they pretty much have that pathogen still in them, right? It actually has mutated their DNA. This is all scientifically proven, and you can search it up, right? That mRNA bullshit they pretty much put in people, they alter them, okay? And they still pretty much have payloads of that, that can't even say without getting banned. I'm already shadow banned regardless, but without getting that disease pretty much enabled once again. So what I'm thinking is that they might try to do something tomorrow, right? They might hit that activation button and everybody out of nowhere starts getting sick. Okay, but everything at the end of the day, we'll see, right? These are all just theories of just putting the pieces together and ultimately standing upon that watchtower and just bringing out news. But let's get a scripture and then I'll keep playing. This is Luke chapter 12 and verse 2. It says, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. Yeah, and that's what we're seeing right here. What is the coincidence? Two newscasters or two pretty much people. One talks about eclipse, earthquake. Other talks about mass casualty event, heart attack, strokes. Right. This is definitely not something that just happens on a day-to-day basis. right? Especially with this type of event that we're about to enter into. So, hey, we'll see. We'll see.
Roads are completely at a gridlock, and we can't get EMS either to a patient or back to the hospital. So this is our command center here at COTS. Here in the COTS Command Center, available hospital beds across the state are tracked every day. They report every day their available med-surg beds, ICU beds, how many patients are boarding the emergency department. Every morning, all the hospitals update that information. Is that over here? So yeah, this is what it looks like for our region today.
This is probably one of the largest planned events the state of Ohio has ever seen.
Matthew Akers is the Director of Safety and Emergency Management for Ohio Health.
We're looking at the population heading in the north central region, and we're planning for traffic delays. It's probably the biggest threat we're looking at right now is, what's that gridlock? If there's an accident on 71 or 23, how does that impact the region?
He says hospital staff is being asked to work late or come in early.
We've altered some of our practices, whether it's with appointments or elective surgeries, to make sure we're not discharging patients right at the end of the eclipse when traffic gridlock could happen. Somebody had a procedure, then they're stuck in traffic for hours.
Keller says critical hospital supplies have been beefed up, and extra blood units have already been moved to area hospitals, so it's there if somebody needs it. We wanted everyone to be prepared. We're not only worried about our hospitals, but we are worried about all of our healthcare agencies in the region. She says the team is ready, but hopefully all that help won't be needed.
When traveling around Ohio, motorists should be sure to frequently top off their gas tanks, and to fully charge their electric vehicles. Have a preparedness kit in your car and items like paper maps, snacks, drinks, cash, and a cell phone charger. It's a good idea also to have a communications plan if you're traveling with your family or friends in case you're separated. Know where to meet up. Have a place to meet up. Know where to take shelter if there's an event. Having those discussions ahead of time are critically important to help thwart any type of confusion that may happen in large crowds. And while traveling, if you're taking your pets, please take stuff for them as well, right? A bowl for water, those kinds of things.
Shalom, giving all praises
And
to
I just
Yahweh,
found that
Bahashem.
Let me go back.
It's
Right, that lady at the end, she started talking about how, yeah, you guys need to prepare or get prepared for communication. And she's pretty much going into the scenario of a pretty much a communication going down, right? A blackout, okay? Which ultimately, I can see how that can happen, right? Esau Edom, you pretty much engineer a blackout and blame it on the solar eclipse, right? Well, this is Psalms chapter 64, and this is going into the wicked. It says, Psalms chapter 64 and verse 5, it says, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? Right? That's constantly the mindset they're in. Nobody's going to see us doing this shit. Right? they have all these think tanks. Verse 6, it says, they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. So, hey, they accomplish a diligent search, right? A very comprehensive analysis using synonyms of how to pretty much bring out their wickedness, okay? And their inward thought is deep, okay? They're constantly thinking about how can we further push our agenda, our NWO, okay? And they also have AI technology that also does that thinking for them, right? They sit down 2-3 hours at a time and just have think tanks where they bounce ideas around about how they're gonna do things. Okay, and hey, with the technology they probably have nowadays, that probably helps them even more. So, hey, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, as the scripture says. So, hey, tomorrow something might happen, something might not. But like I said, just blowing that trumpet, bringing out information about what's going down, because this ain't no coincidence, right? I wouldn't be surprised if he came down with that hammer tomorrow, blame it on the eclipse. So we'll see. Ultimately, we do know something for sure is that this is a sign from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, right? A sign that Babylon the Great is out the window, right? The end of this current empire is soon to come, right? And that's symbolized by that X, right? By the two solar eclipses over America, right? That's what's gonna ultimately happen is that this place is gonna be crossed out, right? Also, you had the signs of Salem. The city's called Salem, short for Jerusalem. The city's called Nineveh. Right, the time between the both the time between both solar eclipses in 2017 and the one now being exactly 6 years, 6 months, 6 weeks, and 6 days. Right, these are signs to show us that this devil's out of here. Right, his time is on the clock. So, just want to bring that out. Quick video. Hopefully, this is edifying. With that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash, and double honors to the outer bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Shalom, Shalom.